Welcome to Movie Roundup today. I'm going to explain a thriller movie. Pandemic called Infected. In a devastated world, 4 survivors are in the road heading to the beach. They went when they were kids. Brian proposes. Take the highway, but his brother Danny tells him it's a terrible idea since can be very dangerous. While they listen to the radio, the driver's girlfriend Bobby starts joking about the boys with Dan and Kate's friends. Suddenly, they manage to see a truck in the distance stop in the middle of the route, blocking step. Bryant orders to raise the windows while the Lord greets them, and the strange Frank approaches them and tells them that he and his daughter were left without gasoline and asks for a little. Bryant yell to get away as people infected can infect others, even with the breath. At the time, Kate to the subject's daughter, which she had her chin strap full of blood, and warns them, his companions. Bryant speeds up and tries to dodge the truck so it leaves the route, but a stone damages the car engine, making the stranger lose oil left behind. But soon the car stops working. The group is lowered and Bryant takes the opportunity to practice aim, holding a sign while Danny tries repair the engine. Although he does not succeed, proposes to go back and group up with the stranger and his daughter, but Kate tells him that he is crazy. The group discusses and finally decides take the guy's truck for the strength. They walk back and approach with bottles of bleach and gasoline in hand. Bryant tells him that they are coming for his truck and pulls out the gun. Frank refuses and tells them that he has heard who have set up a hospital in a Farmington school where they give the infected a serum that allows them cope with the disease, and that take his daughter there. Bobby asks him to I killed him, but Danny has an idea. Then they shut up his father and his daughter in the back of the truck, separating the one in the front with a transparent canvas. Then disinfect with bleach passenger compartment and drive to their car to load the luggage in the van. While they continue with the trip, Bobby plays with the girl infected through the canvas and can be heard on the radio that speak of some people to whom they call the chosen ones, who would be suddenly immune to infection. Bryant lose control of the truck. He quickly stops at the mat. He kept them isolated. He almost let go, and Kate gets off very scared, managing to see a car in the distance. Bryant and Danny go in looking for gasoline, but the tank is closed. When opening the car door, they realize that there is an infected that seems being dead and trying to reach the car keys. This one wakes up and frightens Adam. At night, the group stop to rest and build a fire side of the road. The girl sees a picture in the car and Danny. She explains that when they were kids, they used to go to the Turtle Beach with their parents. Also tells them that it is there too where they are going, and their plan is to stay in an old beachfront hotel until a cure is developed or the infected people die soon. Several shots are heard by what Bryant runs to the fire for. Try to turn it off and not call the attention. Seconds later, they see in the distance that they were chasing a man whom they kill quickly. In the morning, they follow his way to the hospital, and alongside from the road they see a man tied to a mill. Upon arrival in the city is achieved. See a desolate and terrifying landscape. The group parks the car next to the hospital, and when they enter they only see an old woman. School transformed into a center of emergencies. Abandoned, everything seemed lost, but when entering the field of basketball of the establishment, see a great tent with a doctor and several children. Frank asks for help, saying that his daughter she is infected, and then asks about him. serum. He had heard the doctor tells him that the serum only helps to prolong the infection, but it does not cure. It also comments that it's over and that they have the virus, so they can't help them. Meanwhile, we see that Bobby, he had stayed with the girl in the car to take care of her. The two girls talk when suddenly the girl starts to cough and fall to the ground, unable to breathe. Bobby runs the mat and reaches out to give him a respirator, but at that time, the girl coughs blood on the face of the woman. Bobby is desperate, but seeing that he group was returning to the van, replaces the tarp and cleans the blood just in time without anyone see. Frank opens the trunk and finds with the girl on the ground, although she could already breathe normally. She asks him to take her to the bathroom, and when the group is far enough away, take the opportunity to unload your bags and leave, leaving them behind. Back on the road, Dan and Kate disinfect the trunk while Bobby hides his jacket, which she was full of blood. The group continues the trip and arrive at a luxurious hotel inn where they intend to spend the night. Bobby enters the kitchen of the place and look in the mirror looking for traces of blood. Her boyfriend surprises her and enters too, and then she approaches, but the girl, she runs her face since she does not want to infect what Bryant thinks she's upset about having abandoned Frank, but she tells him that she was the right thing, and then she goes to the while Bryant starts to investigate what is there in the pool and the body of a person in a special suit. The boy, frightened and about to fall off the trampoline, the infected pool, but his brother run to help him. At night, Bryant plays golf with some beer bottles while she tries use phones to communicate with his parents, but the girl does not get it. She meets with Danny, and in the hall they are surprised by the strong light of a lantern. They try to run away, but the strangers, they are armed and captured by Bryant. She returns to the hotel and manages to see the stranger light, so she hides behind a horse trailer. One of the strangers comes out and notices that the animals, they're scared of what's going to happen. Investigate as Bryant approaches, hits the subject with the golf club and removes the mask, asking them who they are and what other men do in the hotel with suits. Come out of the building and order him, let him go. They had those of the Bryant's group as a hostage, and they tell them to let them go, but before release them they take away the drums of gasoline and tell them that women, they will stay with them. Bryant and Danny get desperate, but the subjects are too armed as to face them. One of the strangers asks the girls to take off their clothes to check that they are healthy, but everyone backs down when they see that Bobby was infected. The men point and order the four to leave the place immediately, who get into the van and leave the place. In the morning, everyone follows with the trip, but feel disgusted by Bobby's presence in the van. With very little fuel in the tank, decide to stop at a gas station, refuel. All get off, Bobby and they quickly realize that the gas station was completely empty. Moments later, the two young men speak, and they agree that they should abandon Bobby if they want to survive. Danny is going to talk about this with his brother, but the boy gets desperate and he says get in the car. The four start the journey again. But after a few meters, Bryant stops the van and tells Bobby to get off. The girl refuses, so Bryant, he gets out and takes her out of the car while the boy lowers the bags of him. Bobby puts pointless excuses and asks you why. Please don't leave her alone. Bryant tells her that look for a bed and food while her strength remains, and then she leaves, leaving her back after a while. They worry when they see that They have almost no fuel left and they see a car approaching in the distance. Danny suggests asking them for fuel. Kindly, but Bryant doesn't listen and he jerks the truck on its side, preventing them from advancing. The young man tells him that he will take care of, and then he approaches, asking them to please give him some fuel. Women ignore him, and they try to run away, but Bryant shoots the driver several times and the companion stops and gets off, and she shoots Bryant in the leg, but boy kill her too. Danny looks at the car very worried and then insults his brother for what he has done. The guy gets mad and grabs Danny of his neck and then tells him that it is very easy to follow the rules and have the clear conscience when another has to take care of everything bad. They continue with the trip while Bryant is in the back seat suffering with her wound. When arriving at a house, decide to stop and look for equipment, doctor to treat the boy. The house is barricade almost completely, but manage see an open window, and Danny decides get in there. When he enters, he gets scared when see a woman pointing a gun at you, shotgun, but realizes that she's actually dead. Danny grabs the gun and hears some strange noises in the next room. The boy approaches and opens the door, managing to see a very hungry dog which was eating his owner Danny several times. Medicines on the bedside table and stretch to reach them, but the dog quickly pounces on him, so the boy decides to shoot him, leaving the house. Kate and Brian happy to see him well, and the boy is going to heal his brother's gunshot wound. Danny asks her to drop her pants, and when he does, he can see that Bryant, the boy, is also infected. Ends to heal his wound and then tells him the situation. Here the three decide to continue the trip, but this time Bryant is on the trunk, separated by the canvas. By the night they decide to stop to rest, and Brian he asks for the car keys. Sitting by the fire, Bryant tells them that his girlfriend wanted to have a child with him, and now it's all over. After a while he falls asleep, and the young decide take away the gun and abandon him. Boy was conscious, and while the two walk to the car, Bryant asks where the boys go. Come in. The lights come on. They try to start the truck, but they realize that Bryant had the keys. Dan and he gets off and asks him to please I gave them, but Bryant does not plan to stay there. Only the boy reminds him of his brother, the beautiful moments that passed together on the beach, but Danny, with a lot pain, decides to kill him and end his suffering. The next morning Danny burns the remains of him and, very sorry, continues his trip to the beach. While he drives, the boy looks at the sky and thinks that he is a nice day, but he shouldn't do it for first time. He feels alone in this world. He had achieved it, but it was useless if his brother was not next to him in the beach. Those places looked the same, but they felt different. Danny doesn't know how much time is left, and while he remembers his brother, he realizes that he is all alone. He remembers leaving. I like that. It helps the channel a lot. Subscribe and turn on notifications to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and until next time.